This is exactly what I eat in a week when I'm traveling. 6 days worth of breakfast, lunch, snacks, all prepped in under 2 hours, packed into one cooler, and not a single one needs a microwave. These are the meals that keep me from getting bloated, puffy, and exhausted the second I leave my own kitchen. The ones that keep my digestion regular, my skin clear, and my energy stable through long drives, hotel rooms, and just being totally out of my normal routine. And honestly, they taste so good that I would eat them at home anyways. So as you can tell by the different background, we're currently traveling for my husband's work trip. And before we even left, I knew I wanted to bring my own breakfast, lunch, and snacks for a few reasons. Firstly, the meals in this hotel aren't included, and eating out 3 times a day adds up quick. Reason number 2 is my gut, because every time I eat out for days on end, I just get super bloated and puffy and completely backed up, and I just feel gross. So because restaurants usually cook with cheap seed oils and basically zero fiber, I just didn't want to do that to my body a whole week. And reason number 3, also time. I'm still working this week. I still got client meetings back to back. And I didn't want to be scrambling, finding something healthy quick in between client meetings and then having to rush back to the hotel. But I also didn't want to miss out on all the fun, so I did leave out the dinners on purpose, because that's when we usually go out with my husband's colleagues and, just enjoy a meal out. And I feel like that was the whole point, because 2.5 meals out of that day were already handled, high protein, high fiber, organic, home cooked, and I knew exactly what was in them. And knowing that, I could actually go out and enjoy dinner without my gut having to pay for it later on. And that's the kind of balance I like. And honestly, the reason why I'm filming this is because I get this comment quite a bit, and also my clients telling me that, they don't have time to eat healthy, they don't have time to be making a healthy lunch when they're not working from home, they don't have hours to be able to cook. So I wanted to show you how easy it is to eat well, even on the go, even without a microwave, let alone a kitchen. All you need is a cooler or mini fridge. So here's everything I prepped the day before we left. It took me exactly 2 hours and 21 minutes, I believe. But I was also filming the whole thing, moving the camera around, and I even ran out to help my husband in the garage for 5 to 10 minutes. So realistically, you could easily get all of this done in under 2 hours. So starting with breakfast. This breakfast might sound simple, but it's the one that genuinely keeps me regular and full all morning. It's a chia pudding with homemade granola, fresh berries, and 2 hard-boiled eggs on the side. And if you want to make it even quicker, you can obviously buy granola in the store, but trust me, this recipe is just so much tastier and way more cost-effective too. Chia seeds are one of the highest plant sources of fiber and omega-3s. When they soak, they form this kind of gel, which is soluble fiber, and that gel is what keeps your digestion moving and your blood sugar stable even when your routine is chaotic and out of whack. This time I made 6 glasses at once. You can find the exact recipes and quantities for all of these meals in the description, but I just mix some chia seeds, plant milk, Greek yogurt for that creaminess and a hit of probiotics, maple syrup or honey and a splash of vanilla, a couple grams of cinnamon, and then a few pinches of sea salt for mineral balance. I also added some hemp seeds for extra protein and magnesium and 3 scoops of protein powder, because getting enough protein for me is the single hardest thing to do when you're traveling, and that's what keeps you full. So you just stir it in, let it sit for 5 minutes, stir again so it doesn't clump, and then you pour it straight into the glasses, and that's 6 breakfasts done in about 10 minutes. As for toppings, I love granola, but this is the part I just don't want to buy it from the store. I love my homemade granola. It's super easy and simple and quick, and store-bought granola is almost always loaded with refined sugar, seed oils, and gums, which is the exact things that inflame your gut. And when you make it yourself, you control every single ingredient, and it's just too good and easy to not make it yourself. So I used rolled oats for slow digesting fiber, raw chopped nuts for healthy fats and protein, mixed pumpkin, flax, and hemp seeds, cinnamon for blood sugar, half a teaspoon of sea salt, and then melted coconut oil and maple syrup or honey to bind and sweeten it, plus vanilla and coconut flakes, and just whack it all in the oven. Bake it at 160 degrees Celsius for about 30 to 40 minutes, stirring it once halfway, and press it down for those bigger clusters. It keeps well for weeks, it travels perfectly, and it actually makes me excited for breakfast even when traveling. Then I throw in some fresh berries, raspberries and blueberries for polyphenols and antioxidants that feed your good gut bacteria and also fight the oxidative stress that travel piles on. And on the side, 2 hard-boiled eggs. Eggs are the most bioavailable protein you can pack. They need no reheating, and the choline supports your liver while you're putting it through more than usual when traveling. Between the chia, the granola, the berries, and the egg, you've got fiber, protein, and healthy fat all in one breakfast, which is exactly the combination that stops that mid-morning bloat and the energy crash later on. This lunch I have made so many times now, and it always surprises people because it tastes just as good cold and therefore needs no reheating, just a cooler, and it's a couscous chicken salad. I cook the couscous straight in chicken stock instead of water because that's free flavor and it means the salad tastes incredible cold. Couscous is a gentle, easily digestible carb that won't sit heavy on you the way a big restaurant meal does. And while it cools, I just stir through a glass of pesto rosso, so the red one, finely diced red onion, and 2 cans of rinsed chickpeas. Chickpeas are packed with resistant starch and fiber, which is the exact thing your microbiome is starving for when you travel. And it's what keeps you regular when nothing else in your routine is. And then also a handful of toasted pine nuts for healthy fat and crunch. For the protein, I dice some chicken breast and season it with paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, salt, pepper, and a little olive oil, and then grill or pan fry it. I like chicken because it's clean, lean, and a travel stable protein. Then I fold in diced English cucumber for hydration, some cherry tomatoes for lycopene and a bit of acidity, and crumbled feta for flavor, calcium, and some fermented goodness. And then you can add some parsley or microgreens on the top, and also some olives if you have them. You lay it all into containers, and that's 6 lunches that actually taste delicious. Fiber from the chickpeas and couscous, protein from the chicken, healthy fat from the feta and pine nuts, hydration from the cucumber, literally a perfect travel lunch. And for snacks, this is the one that almost feels like cheating because it tastes almost like a Snickers, but is obviously 30 times healthier. They always satisfy my sweet tooth and replace the gas station chocolate bar you'd otherwise grab during one of those long road trips. And they're just so delicious. If you've not tried them before, please do me the favor and make them right now. I take pitted medjool dates, nice and sweet, but unlike a normal candy bar, they come wrapped in fiber and minerals like potassium and magnesium, so the natural sugar releases slowly instead of spiking your blood sugar and crashing you an hour later. I fill each date with peanut butter and then sprinkle a couple of roasted peanuts on there for protein, healthy fat, and that salty sweet thing your brain is actually craving. Then I dip the whole thing in melted 70% dark chocolate, dark not milk, because at 70% you're getting polyphenols and magnesium with very little added sugar, and just finish it with a pinch of sea salt on top. Let them set, keep them in a cooler so they don't melt, and you've got a grab and go snack that satisfies the craving completely while still feeding your gut instead of inflaming it. Luckily, we have this lovely fridge that can run off your car, or this like huge big battery pack that we use for camping. But even if you just have a cooler with some ice packs until you get to the hotel minibar, will do just fine. So pack it all in glass jars and containers and you're good to go. So that's almost a full week of breakfast, lunch, and snacks, prepped in about 2 hours, that keeps you out of that bloating and crashing cycle that usually comes with traveling. The principles are very simple here, so just protein and fiber in every single thing that you prep. Control your own ingredients instead of trusting whatever's on the road. Pick foods that taste good cold, especially when reheating just isn't an option, and hydrate harder than you think you need, especially in the summertime. And if you want to see my 3 go-to dinners that I always make when I'm just too tired to cook, that I can whip up in 20 minutes, but that are still super delicious and healthy, then you can watch this video here. And if you want to see everything I eat in a day to heal my gut, then this video is for you. I'll see you in the next one.